How you feeling today? Hey, it's your girl Liz and welcome back. Welcome in to the Misfits. So today we are doing some self-care today. Grab your journals, light your candles, do whatever you need to do. Oh, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe because you know it's about to be therapeutic. All right, let's go. So currently it is 12:55 in the afternoon, and the reason for me even doing some self-care today is because it is Women's Week and I am really struggling. I need some time to rest and reset, so one of the ways to be productive while also relaxing is coloring, and I really enjoy coloring because I can create things like these that I just showed you, and it's very calming, soothing for me. So yeah, I know self-care can be a very broad term, but self-care at its core is doing something intentional for your mental health. Hence the word intentional. Because if, like I said, you're doing it just to do it, that's not self-care. Like if you go out with your girls just because, you know, you haven't seen them in a while, or you haven't hung out with these people in a while, and you feel like an obligation to do it to maintain those friendships, that's not self-care. Like if you're doing it to be like, hey girl, I really need to get some things off my chest, and I know you're the biggest support system that I have, that's intentional. That's, you know, giving you the fuel that you need to continue going. So yeah, really be intentional with you guys' self-care, because I want you guys to be okay. And it's okay not to be okay, but you just have to know, that you are worth it. Your mental health is worth it. Your time, your efforts is worth it. And one of the things that has really helped me in my self-care journey, therapy. In my community, that really had a negative stigma. Like if you went to therapy, you had to be crazy. You had to be crazy. You had to be, you know, one of those cases where you needed medication, and if you didn't, there was no use for therapy. And I think therapy now is getting a better rep because you don't have to be crazy. Nothing will literally be wrong with you. And then you get into that therapy room and you realize like what you've been missing out on. So yeah, that has really helped me in my self-care journey. I would say another thing that has helped me in my self-care journey is giving myself grace. And that's just really being patient with myself, asking myself those important questions. Like if I have this ruminating thought, if I have this automatic thought, you know, I instantly push back, like why? Like, you know what I mean? Where is that coming from? Who said this to me? You know, do I actually believe that about myself? Do I actually believe that about this other person? Like, or is it just a judgment that I'm projecting? Like, you have to challenge your thoughts. And once I figured that out, That's all I can say. Because you would be surprised how many thoughts you have that are not yours. And it sounds crazy because it's like, it's coming from my mind, why would it not be mine? A lot of the things we think come from outside influences. Whether you heard that as a kid and you automatically were just like, yep, that's the right way. Or, you see images, like repeated images in your mind, and you automatically think that's the right way, because if you see something so many times, you think you start to adapt that, sort of behavior, sort of thought process. And it'll easily disguise itself as one of your thoughts, one of something that you truly believe, but then you think, like, why do I think that way? I don't know, like, this is one of those things you can't answer, like, and that's how you know your thoughts, or those things that you believe, aren't your thoughts. I think a journal prompt, if you're into writing or journaling, I think a good journal prompt here would be to ask yourself, ask yourself, what does self-care look like for you? Oh my God, y'all. I just thought of this. It always comes to me while I'm coloring. Okay, so when I was maybe in like preschool, I had this teacher. Mind you, this was my first experience with a teacher. Okay, so this obviously has scarred me. That I still remember it to this day. So I had this teacher who we would always come to class and we would always have like coloring assignments. So we would come to class, she would give us these coloring sheets. I remember specifically Sesame Street was always playing on the TV in the corner. And so the teacher, however, she would come around the classroom just to check on our work and things like that, and she carried the largest pencil you had ever seen. It was probably about the size of my arm as a toddler, and she would carry this around almost like, how the soldiers walk around with their hands behind their back and they're observing and like things like that. Like, that's exactly how she would walk around. And as she observed your work and was giving you feedback, she would bang this large wooden pencil on your table, and she would be like, "Now, white spaces." It would scare the crap out of me because it would be so unexpected. So as a kid, I'm just sitting there coloring hard, coloring multiple times in the same area just to make sure that there was no white spaces. And when she meant white spaces, she didn't mean just like the background or anything like that. She would specifically mean, like, as you're coloring, how when you're shading and it comes out with like these like white dots because it didn't cover everything. That's what she meant. Like, no white spaces. It had to be filled into a T or you failed. Mind you, this is a coloring assignment, and so I can do nothing but just laugh at this point, because even now as I color, I go over those white spaces. Like, there are no white spaces. That has stuck with me to this day. And yeah, I just thought I'd share that with you guys because, yeah. yeah, those are just some of the thoughts that go through my mind as I'm coloring. If you walk away with anything from this video, it's that this self-care is essential. And if you're asking why self-care is essential, try it. You're gonna answer your own question. Well, I think that is it for our coloring session. Thank you for joining me. Whew. Okay, I think I told y'all it was 12:55 when I started. It is now 3:15 in the afternoon. So we spent about 2 hours just doing some self-care, being intentional. And I'm hoping you guys did whatever you needed to do to just reset, rest and reset. I love you guys. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.